What is going on? It is Chris here, back with another video. This time we are going to be looking ahead to the big four-game slate today for NBA preseason. Wasn't going to, but since it's a big four-game slate, and there's quite a bit to look at. No lineups or injuries or anything came out yet, but we can kind of look at last year's minutes in their first game and their second game to kind of get a feel of what we got going on. So, anyway, once again, yesterday for the Charlotte-Boston game, we killed it. We actually took down a tournament, which is crazy. So it wasn't too shabby. Here was one of our lineups. Well, this was an option lineup. We had two option lineups, and this was one of them. 165.12, as you see here, sub. Didn't play any tournaments, just played it safe, but still won $90, so definitely not too shabby. He'll definitely take that. Two of our subscribers actually played in the $10 one and came in second. Well, I guess we didn't take it down. Came in second place. He won 400. Another sub won 400. So they both split second. That's definitely not too bad of a return. 26 and 581. He'll definitely take that. So he easily paid for like a season pass if he wanted to. So. That's back-to-back nights on DraftKings. Fanduel came up just a little short. I did win a couple small leagues, but overall, I just broke even on Fanduel. But TK was for sure a easy top 1% finish. So, yeah, why not come join us? Well, that's another screenshot of another subscriber winning pretty good money, over $550 return on only preseason. So, why not come join us? It's pretty simple. Come join us, win some money, and get ready for the regular season. To get in on it, check out our Twitter in the comment section below. Just message us, and we'll get you all set up. Definitely would love to have you guys come join us. Like I said, we are one of the hottest providers right now. Other people are winning, but I don't think we've lost once. I guess FanDuel was a loss today, but overall, still doing very good. So come join us. Would love to have you guys for sure. Anyway, I don't have all the minutes up for people's last preseason games, but I have them in my head so I can kind of tell you guys what teams play what minutes and stuff like that. It could change because, some different coaches, but for the most part, hopefully the minutes are the same from the first preseason game from 2018 for most of these clubs, which is hopefully going to be in 2019. So we're going to go break it down by team here. I just have a dummy lineup. Don't really need to look at that too much. But anyway, we're going to let's go look at our first game. I guess we'll just go down by point guards and stuff like that. I'll show you some of these guys in a minute. Anyway, I like Trae Young. New Orleans-Atlanta game should be a very fast-paced game. I think Atlanta is going to play anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes for their starters. They do mix around their guys a little bit, but I expect Young to be pretty good. And he's facing, like I said, a fast-paced game here, and he's going to want to come out and shoot the ball like he usually does. So Trae Young for sure, my favorite point guard out there. I don't mind Holiday. I need to see the rotation first for New Orleans to really make a call because there's so many different guys that could start for New Orleans today, like Ball and Holiday, obviously Zion. So I kind of need to see the lineup first before I can really make a judgment call. In New Orleans, another team that kind of, tossed their minutes around anywhere from 18 to 20, 21, 22 minutes. So we'll have to see. Maybe some of the guys that have been there longer, like Holiday, don't play as much since he's been there for a while. But who knows? Maybe he also plays because it's a new team, so he needs to get used to him. Zach LaVine played pretty good minutes his first preseason game in the upper 20s, facing a hard team in Milwaukee, but the dude does shoot a ton, and he is very aggressive, so it's not the best matchup for him, but it's still not bad at $6,300 for a guy that we know can shoot a ton. And, if he's hitting his shots, he's good. If he's not, going to have some issues. Bledsoe, not too into him. Payton, if he's starting, maybe New York. Their minutes last year in their first game were just all over the board. No one really played a ton. Everyone played a lot of minutes, so starters didn't play a lot. So I'm a little concerned about the New York minutes there. Alonzo, if he starts, I think you can definitely put him in there at only 5,500. Satoransky's worth a look. Kobe White definitely worth a look. Probably coming off the bench here. I do like him. Not too into D Rose, RJ Barrett, as I mentioned with all the which I'm going to mention with all the New York guys. He could be a good play, but I'm not expecting him to play a lot of minutes, so I just don't know if I should really go there. You can maybe look at Dunn, but once again, hard matchup against Milwaukee. You got maybe Jackson against Orlando. I don't know how many minutes he will play. Detroit, their first game or two, they played quite a bit of minutes, but they didn't really have their starters. Jackson and Griffin didn't play either in the first game, so maybe 20, 25 minutes. You can definitely look at Jackson if you want to. I don't expect a lot of people to have him. He didn't play at all, I don't think, last preseason because he had an injury. But, yeah, you could definitely look at him. Marquez Fultz probably coming off the bench, but you can look at him. Augustine, Orlando, a lot of their guys played upper 20s to low 30s in their second preseason game last year. So it may not be, like I said, like the hottest picks out there. But, I mean, if they're almost playing a full game, why not put them out there, I guess? I know Fournier burnt us. Burnt some of you and burnt me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, I mean, some of these Orlando guys are so dang cheap, like Augustine. I know he's not the most productive dude out there, but if he's playing 25 minutes at $4,400, I mean, he did pretty good last game. So I like him. I really do. If Orlando stays to their 25, 30 minutes per game here in game 2, who else are we looking at? Not too many other guys that I care for in this area. Maybe Ish Smith maybe gets a little bit of run since Wall and Thomas are out. I think that's mostly it for the point guard. Shooting guard. Most of these shooting guards are point guards. So if you can get Beal, I don't mind him. I personally would rather have Trae Young than Beal in this one. I don't know how aggressive Beal's really going to be here. We mentioned Holiday, Levine. Once again, Josh Hart could be interesting. If he's coming off the bench, I don't mind him. He might get you. He might be pretty good on the second team there. Who else we got? I mentioned Fultz. Maybe put him in there. I know a lot of you guys are going to hate this, but I don't mind Evan Fournier. I know he screwed us 2 for 4 in field goals in the first game. Wasn't too aggressive. And his second game last year, he wasn't too aggressive either. But the dude's $4,200. I mean, he's so dang cheap. Going to play 25, 30 minutes. No one's going to have him. It's a risky play. But if you don't go Fournier, you're going to have to sacrifice one of your big boys like Zion or something like that. So just in the way that I'm building. So I get it. He's not the greatest play, but if he's going to be out there, hopefully he does more than he did in the first game. We know this guy can play. We saw it in the Euro FIBA League. We saw it last year. Just, hopefully he shoots the ball because he only shot 4 times in his first game. Shoot the ball, Fournier. You're capable of doing it. That's my only kryptonite is Fournier so far. Moving down, I don't mind Wes Owadu. He might be coming off the bench. He did okay his first game out. So you can definitely look at him. So if you don't want to risk Fournier, you can look at Wes Owadu coming off the bench here. No one's going to have him either. So if you want to go a little bit, I guess, safer, then you can go that way. But Fournier for sure has more upside, but it is a lot riskier than Owadu. Moved on to the small forward. Giannis probably going to play 20, 23 minutes, mostly the first half. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes into the third quarter, but it's kind of like Curry the other day Harden played a lot, but it's kind of like Curry where he might play the first half, but the dude's going to be very productive. And, so I like Giannis. If you can afford Giannis, I don't mind Gordon as kind of a fallback option. I mean, he played, 31 or 32 minutes in game 2 of last year preseason, and he didn't look too bad in the last game. You can look at Otto Porter, not too into him. I do like Parker at 56. As I mentioned with New York, don't know how the minutes are with them. Kevin Knox did play like 25 minutes. He was one of the few that played a lot last year, but he was a rookie, so they're trying to figure him out. Who else we got? Ingram. Like I said, depending on that lineup, I really like Ingram if he's starting, which I think he should be. I mentioned Hart. Who else we got? Isaac. I do like him if he is starting. One of those guys that doesn't score a lot, but maybe a couple rebounds, blocks, and stuff like that may get you 15 to 18 at only $4,400. Isn't too bad. Ross for Orlando as well. Aminu didn't look too bad. Like I said, I keep going back to all these really cheap Orlando guys because there's not many other cheap options that are going to be playing 20, 25 minutes, almost 30 minutes at that cheap. Then Wes Iwudu again, and that's mostly it. David Bertans could be an interesting option there. At power forward, we got a ton. We got a ton of people at power forward and center here tonight. Like I said, Giannis for sure. Zion should be very, very popular. Don't mind Randall, but once again, rotation is interesting to me. You can look at Griffin maybe 20, 25 minutes in this one. I personally would pick Griffin over Randall. If we get some weird news that New York starters are going to play 20, 25 minutes, then I'll probably play some more New York guys, but we will have to see. Don't mind marketing. I really like Collins. Don't mind a little bit of Otto Porter, Parker. I mean, all three of those guys are in good spots. I really do like Portis for sure. And then Ingram, if he's starting, really don't mind him. Bryant, maybe a little bit. He should be in a half-decent spot. Another guy that I do like, where is he? Guess he's a center. I'll talk about him in a second. I think that's mostly it. You can look at Christian Wood. Don't know how much run he's going to really get, but we do know when this guy does play, he is a crazy, crazy good scorer. But like I said, I don't know if they're going to play him or not. Coming off the bench. And then our center position, I do like Drummond quite a bit. I don't know if I can get him in there. He's an easy double-double guy here. So if you can get him in there, shoot, I put him in there. I'd probably take Drummond over Vuk, but that's just me. I don't mind Vukovic, but they just have so many mouths to feed over there in Orlando. That's why I'm so skeptical about Fournier, but he's just so dang cheap. Mitchell Robertson, 5,200. If you can't afford Drummond or Vuk, should be in a good spot. Dude, probably only going to play 15 to 17 minutes, but as we all know, can get maybe 5 or 6 real points, 6 to 7 rebounds, and 3 to 4 blocks for you. And, he's good to go. So Robertson is in a good spot. I expect Bamba to be very popular. That's up to you guys if you want to go back to that. Don't mind it at all. And that is, I think, mostly it for me. Like I said, I'm just naming mostly the main guys that are going to play. There are probably a couple GPP flyers, rookies, and stuff like that. But as of now, we don't have any news of who's really playing or who's not. So once the news comes out, I'll have a little bit more clarification. But as of now, that's kind of what we're looking at. So I'll just go put a couple of guys out there. I mean, if you guys really want to, you guys could stop the video and go look at what I had in the beginning. But like I said, that definitely could change throughout the day, which it probably will. That will definitely not be my final lineup. But if you want to play it, I mean, you could if you want. Maybe change it up a little bit. You're going to have to watch the news for that. Shooting guard's kind of trash, to be honest with you. I do like Hart, as I mentioned earlier. Fultz. Then maybe a little bit of Evan Fournier. Risky, but maybe. And I do like Giannis for sure. Power forward, you got Zion. And then you got Collins. So you got quite a bit of money. You're going to have to go cheap a little bit with some of these guys. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't mind Augustine. I know, like I said, they have a lot of mouths to feed, but he's just so dang cheap, and he helps you get in some of those big boys. Same as Isaac. He helps you get in some big boys as well. Like I said, they're not the sexiest names out there, but they help you out with your salary. And you could totally go, like I said, you can maybe go Zach LaVine or go Lonzo Ball. And then you got your utility guy. You can go Otto Porter, Parker, maybe Peyton, Portis. Probably Portis is my favorite out of those. But Portis, Ingram, Mitchell Robertson out of that area is probably my favorite. As I mentioned, Kobe White, Bamba, maybe Bryant. So there's a lot of options out here today. So it should be a pretty good slate for sure. So anyway, that is mostly it. If you guys want to come join us, let us know. Like I said, we killed it last night once again. Came in second in our GPP for our subscribers. So definitely congrats to those guys. So to get in on it, check out our Twitter in the comment section below. And, come join us. Why not? We're doing pretty good preseason. And like I said, there's a lot of news that comes out in preseason. It's hard to find it. So why not just skip the news and let us do the news for you, all the dirty work for you, and come join us. So that is mostly it. I'll try to keep doing videos for you guys. All right, guys. Hope you guys all had a pretty good weekend. We'll see you guys a little bit